All right, guys, welcome to CTA's Construction Talks. Of course, if you've been to our construction talks before, you know that we are going to have a great time. Like I mentioned before, we're doing something different where we pre-recorded a video where we had a tour of the Plumbers Local 130. So without further ado, my name is China Hampton. I'm the Senior Project Manager for Workforce Initiatives at the Chicago Transit Authority. As always, grab your pen and your paper so that you can take notes. Please feel free to ask us any questions. And yes, the video will be posted after we do our live taping today. So we're going to go ahead and start the video of the tour, but I'd like for us to have a few introductions. We have Janetta Ryan from Cisco here. Janetta, can you just say hello and introduce yourself?
Hello, I think it's afternoon. Good afternoon. My name's Janetta Ryan. I work for Cisco, which is the Construction Industry Service Corporation, and we work with all 24 different union apprenticeship programs. So it's been our pleasure. I think this is our fourth one, China.
Yeah.
Able to work with China and the CTA on this program. So hope you enjoy it and have a lot of questions.
Great. All right. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get our video started.
Thanks.
So we are here at the Plumbers Local 130. Talking to some of the apprentices about some of the work that it is that they do as apprentices. And if you guys could give us some information more about what year of apprentice you are, and just kind of your experience being an apprentice. I'm going to just get a little louder to hear you.
Yeah, I'm a third-year apprentice. Working for the same company for 2.5 years now. I really enjoy it. There's a lot of benefits to being a local 130 plumbers apprentice. We get paid to go to school, which is amazing. During the week, a lot of places they make you do it on Saturday or a night school, so we get paid during the week. In addition, great learning opportunities and help you place you at the right companies that'll fit for you.
So how did you find out about the apprenticeship opportunity?
My grandfather did this for about 50 years. And he loved it. He spoke highly of it. And we just had some friends that were here, and they recommended it to me. And yep.
And so, what are you? Can you give us some insight on what you're doing here? What are you doing to the start?
Yeah. So today we're just working on cast iron projects, making sure that we're pouring our joints and going straight. As well as doing things the right way, proper way to coat. In addition, a lot of the other stuff we've learned is trigonometry, and then a lot of physics for understanding how water flow rates and velocities of water and stuff. In addition, we have a great welding shop that we've been learning in. So we can get ahead of other workers, I guess. Keep jobs in the future.
I'd just like to say, right now in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic, the health of drinking water and buildings has never been more prominent than ever. And I know that the union plumbers and the union contractors' motto is we protect the health of the nation, and you certainly do it. And now it's more critical than ever. So this job that you're doing now, this career, is really vital to the safety of all the people that live and work in all major cities and municipalities. So really much appreciated. Your skills are needed now more than ever. So thanks so much for what you do and all that you learn and keeping all these cities running, not just Chicago, but all the cities, and protecting the health of everybody. It's very critical. Thank you.
Very rewarding.
Yeah.
To look at a building or get to look at something fixed and learn from the best here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we are going to talk to the instructor and just find out more about what the apprentices are doing or what they have done. And he's just going to kind of give us a walk around of what's happening. And guys, take notes, because this is what you would be doing if you were an apprentice for the Plumbers Local 130. So I'm sure they're gonna have some openings coming soon, and we'll talk more about that later. But we want to give you guys just some inside information on what these apprentices are doing. And some of these apprentices, what's your name?
Frank Borkowski.
Frank Borkowski. So these apprentices, what year are you?
Well, we have two different classes here today. We have the younger ones that are in the first 6 months. They're probationary apprentices, they call it. And the other class that's actually building these bigger projects, they're in their third year. It's a 5-year program. They come to school here for 3 years. During the day, they get paid to come to school 1 day a week. So they're actually being paid right now. And their employer's paying that so that they can become a better asset to the company. And then in their 4th year, they're done with day school. They go out into the field 5 days a week, and they have to come back at nighttime to do continued education. And by their 5th year, they're already starting to take their exams, a written exam, and after they pass that, they take a practical exam. So they could theoretically be done with their license in their hand right around 4.5 years, a little more.
So can you show us what some of the 6-month apprentices have been
Sure.
working on?
The 6 months apprentices are kind of doing the same thing. They're making lead and open joints. They're taking molten lead. We have a lead station here. It melts just over 600 degrees, around 621. They're working with the lead around 700 to 750. And so what they're doing first is everybody, whether they're first 6 months or the 3rd-year projects, they're stuffing oakum, which is a fibrous material inside the joint. And that way the lead doesn't just go pouring through. And these first 6 months are working with these splittable hubs. If you want to take a walk over here, this way we can gauge what they're doing and look on the inside of the pipe. So they have these splittable hubs, and this would mimic what a pipe would look like, what the other folks are working on. But at least these, we could crack them apart and reuse them instead of shattering them, because what we want to see later on is how are they laying their oakum and how is their lead sitting. So this gentleman who's in his first 6 months, he's trying to get better. He's going to peel this oakum off, slice this apart, flatten it out, and I'm going to be able to read it as a bar to see how consistent he is trying to hold a 1 inch level of lead depth. We're trying to show him too that never does the water come in contact with any of the lead, so it's not going into the sanitary system, anything like that. So what this is a fibrous material that swells up when water hits it. So a combination between the oakum and the lead makes a watertight seal in the pipe. Been around for hundreds of years, cast iron, just in this kind of system. So what they do after this is, now the older ones, they're building projects that include, so I give them a diagram and I make a bunch of measurements missing. So they have to fact find, and what they have to do then is do all the math, get the appropriate fittings that I told them to use from the drawing. So there's a lot of math involved, and now techniques in order to cut the pipe, install those things together. And when they come back to lunch, I'm actually going to take a board and fit it on top to make sure that they hit the holes where they were supposed to go. So kind of like in a building, the pipes go from one floor to the next, there's a sleeve and a floor opening. That's what they're going to try to do. And they're putting a very small water test on. Third years are building the projects, and the first 6 months, they're actually just getting used how to pour these joints. So some of them are pouring them vertically like this, the young man is, and then later on when he feels more confident, he's going to put this in this form, and now he's going to be able to hold on to it, and they're going to pour horizontal like these folks. So they got to be able to pour vertical and horizontal. So afterwards, when they pour horizontal, they use the lead, and pour the lead inside it so it doesn't go. But then you can see a distinct difference between when they first start trying to put them in to when they become several years after the apprenticeship. We do a lot of different things with them.
So give us some insight on your experience. How did you find out more about how long you doing this?
I'm a plumber for 30 years now. Coming up in 30 years. I've been an instructor or if you include night school, 21 of those years, meaning that when I mean night school, it means I was in the field during the day and I was coming back here at night doing anything to teach you math, physics, a lot of different aspects of plumbing that people really don't understand. But so I was doing that, and then about 15 years ago, they asked me to become a full-time day instructor. So I'm no longer in the field. I'm here 8 hours, well, minimum 8 hours a day, sometimes 16. But I've been doing that for 15 years, just in day school. And I also teach night classes still.
And how did you find out about the opportunity?
I actually kind of fell into it, just doing some other odd jobs as a younger person. And one of the gentlemen I was working with, I wound up kind of, doing bull work for them when I was younger. Breaking floors, doing whatever kind of laboring kind of bed. And they wanted to know if I wanted to get into plumbing. So they told me to sign up. And they gave me some ideas about where I should go. Local 130, best thing in the world. And I was lucky enough to get into the apprenticeship.
What do you guys, and so this is more for our viewers, and are interested in maybe learning more about the apprenticeship program? Do you guys have any more openings? Are you going to be opening the application period at some point, especially with the climate of the COVID? What's next?
Well, every year, other than like the years of 2008 when the economic bomb went off, but every year we open up an apprentice sign up, and it usually lasts from January about I'd say about 8-9 weeks into March. And there's a sign up. Anybody can sign up. It's a $25 fee. You can buy a $10 test certificate. They have to take an aptitude test. And they open up that every year, and it's been typical. So as long as I've been in here, we pull in maybe about 120 to 130 people a year. We get a lot of people sign up. It could range from 1,200 to 1,500 to 1,600 people apply. But again, we're trying to get the best of the best. So again, it's what the economy dictates. We don't create work; we just train, and we try to supply the industry with the trained.
There will be some openings, and you've got what you'll be doing as a 6-month apprentice, a 3-year apprentice. Next, we'll probably be taking a tour of the facility. So thank you so much for talking to us. We really appreciate it.
When you go inside of our building, you'll see some of our wall of honor. Every year they hold an apprenticeship contest. We hold them inside internally. In the third year, right before they get out, guys and girls, whoever makes the top grade point averages, we invite typically 20 of them between the 3 locations we have. Somebody wins our in-house apprenticeship contest. They go on to the state. If they win the state, they go on to the region, which is 11 states in our district. If they win that, they go to the international. We've been fortunate to have a bunch of international winners. In fact, 2 of our instructors that are here are international winners, and you'll see them in the hallway with all their plaques. Very prestigious program, best in the world.
Thank you. So we're gonna do a tour.
Sorry for talking.
No, but so glad that you did. Yeah, absolutely. Look at this amazing facility. I know it's a new facility that you guys are rightfully so proud of. And come in, it's just now, what is it now, coming on? 3 years already, yeah. 3 years. Wow.
September 17th.
Wow.
Sorry about the mess.
Oh.
This is our,
Introduce yourself to our viewers.
my name is Jim Majerowitz. I'm the training director here at Plumbers Local 130. We're in our Chicago campus today. We also have a campus in Bolo, Illinois, and we have a campus in Joliet, Illinois, too. We have 17 counties that we supply apprentices to in Northeastern Illinois. And right now, we're in our shop area, our training center that has been, we've been in for 3 years now. And this is actually the original site of our school. When we left Washburn Trade School, we moved a building here, 1400 West Washington. which was basically an old bank building. And then our trustees decided that we're going to build a state-of-the-art center. We tore down the old center, and we built this 3 years ago. So it's all state-of-the-art, and it's all private money. There's no public funding here, all right? And we're expanded in our shop area now. Our shop area has a 3-story home over here, or a 3-story building, I should say. And there's some of our vendors that help us out throughout the supplies and stuff there. That we have banners for them and everything, because they've helped us through all the years of training our apprentices. Training is the most important thing, knowledge, the most important thing, because when apprentices know how to do something, and then that apprentice will know how to do something when they're a journeyman, right? This is the foundation of their career. The foundation of everybody's career is an apprentice, all right? So we try to train all our apprentices from the bottom up, all right? So therefore, we have basic materials that they learn in. We do have an underground pit there where we train them how to do the underground piping, the water main, plumbers do the fire hydrants, the water mains in the street, the water services, and they're all done by licensed plumbers or licensed plumbers apprentices. So we do that underground training there. We have something set up there so that apprentices know how to pick things up, because, you know, apprentice, who's going to be moving material? Most contractors like to have apprentices. So we have a 3-ton overhead bridge crane here, all right, that's up there. And we train apprentices how to pick things up, unload trucks and stuff, and we do that with a bridge crane. So if they're working on a job site, no matter what they're picking something up with a piece of equipment, they'll know how to do it safely. So
You can walk over there. And as we're walking, I noticed this is one of the old Chicago water mains installed in the late 1800s. So we got a bit of history.
yeah, I got a little bit of history.
Now, what are the other ones?
So there's different types of water main. I said around there. Some water main was made like the barrels, all right, that you see that they make alcohol and wine in and stuff like that, and then it's put together like that. Other water main is put together where they hollow it out, and then they got steel straps around the outside of it to hold it in place. And then they had some that was made square, all right, and that's what was in the ground for well over 100 years. This was under about 4 years ago, all right? So that was in the ground, in it, and the outside of it was tar coated, and you can see the inside in the heat, and little tires melting off of it. Wow. You got a picture of water main in your wall. I bet you do.
I don't know.
I bet you do. You got your wallet with you?
I don't.
Don't take the picture. Get the picture with you.
On the taste card?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's the wood water main. So what happens is the chase credit card. You don't want to put this out. I got a butt something. Oh, I don't have. So what happens is they were big and funding something to do with the wood water main that was installed in New York City.
Okay.
About 20 years ago.
Wow. So the Chase logo is a representation of the wood water. Absolutely amazing.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Now you mentioned this training area here is for apprentices as you guys are working underground, correct?
So we got an underground pit there. All right. Right now you see they do have some copper projects laying there, but you see we train them in doing the water main. You can see fire hydrants in there where they tap the water, service it. It's all stuff that's required to be done by a licensed plumber. three-story markup building. We have metal studs on this side, which will indicate how things are done in the commercial realm up there. On the other side of the building, you see the wood stud, that's how things would be done in residential. All right, so we train them on a three-story markup building.
And we could walk. Should we walk in?
Sure, you can walk in and see. As you see, this is what you would see more in a commercial bathroom where you have a whole bunch of water faucets there, or toilets as known to the public. You also see the separation in the far one, which would indicate that it's handicapped.
And so the apprentices, now what year apprentices would be working on something, a project like this?
Well, you know, what we do is we put this together, all right? So we're gonna have first, second, and third, and we may bring fourth and fifth year apprentices in here to see actual, the physical things. If I need to do how to take a toilet, commercial toilet off the wall, because these fixtures in the commercial realm here, they could be there without a wall. Most residential stuff has to mount on the wall, but the commercial stuff is supported with fixture carriers. Most of the time, not all the time. So apprentices could learn, I could bring them right here, I could bring in 8 apprentices at one time, and they each get up to the stage, get a toilet to work in. All right. So it is, so then we'll put it together, and then after it's been around for a while, we'll take it down and put it back up. So hopefully the apprentices' careers here at this center, they will be involved in putting it together once, taking it apart once, and we'll go through and make sure they understand every part. And what's nice, apprentice comes in and asks a question. What do we do, all right, when we have this installation, all right? And we may take them over, all right, and they may say something like, you know, I got this, we're putting this in, all right? Now, how do I support this piece of copper tube coming out the wall? And we could take them over to see this bracket right here. You put that bracket there, you solder that right on there, and now you're set to go. So they learn things that they may not see in the future. Right? 2 years, we got new technology, this T. Instead of putting a T in, we manufacture this T. All right, and then saves money because they're not using the fitting. And how to put that in to supply the fixtures. So it saves money, all right, saves time, all right? And all this material here you see is cast iron. None of this burns. We believe, and you've heard this, and Mr. Allen has said this, the plumber protects the health of the nation. And that is one of the most true statements out there, because they have a lot of materials that they put in today where it's flammable. And you can see that we built this, with metal studs and so forth. Why would you build in a commercial building flammable material? I don't know. I couldn't answer that. But as you see, all this material here, the copper, the cast iron, none of this stuff's flammable. So we're never going to get a fire from this type of plumbing installations. So Chicago has been on the front line dealing with this. That's why they have some great codes in the city of Chicago, where we're not going to get the fire going up and down buildings and stuff from the plumbing.
Also the toxicity, isn't it also that it's getting out in some of those materials, which I remember MGM Grand, small fire downstairs, killing people up 30 floors just from the toxic fumes that are produced from that.
Years ago at the MGM fire in Las Vegas, it was, I think, double-digit people that died because of poor plumbing installation, right? Poor plumbing material, right? And we don't want to see that happen in Chicago.
And as you mentioned, come back this way. This is more for like a residential
You see, yeah, so we have some residential stuff here, where in the residential, we have a toilet that would be installed on the floor, up the door. As you see, actually, these things are full functioning, the ones over there are full functioning, one piece of toilet here, got fully functioning, all right, so they can actually see, put it together, see if there's any leaks or whatever on there, so set up for that. And all the water that we use when we do this is all great water. All right, so I'm here flushing these fixtures or running water in these fixtures, along with all our second floor labs. All right, we're not wasting any precious fresh water. Because all this water that we're using here is captured rainwater. And we'll go through that when we get into the rest of the building. This is our rainwater catchment control. And the simplified rainwater. All right. It had a clear well. The well goes in the gutter. The gutter goes down. All right. It goes in the barrel, store it, and there's a little screen in here waiting to breathe in. It's one in that screen. All right. And it's a tank or whatever, you don't have to worry about mosquitoes because there's a sprinkler. All right. You can use this as the simplest rainwater catchment system that's out there, which people put in their houses every day. All right. And remember, every barrel of water and touch here and use around their house for their gardens is that much less water than we have to make from our precious solution. Right? So this building here, we capture all the rainwater from the roof. Right? So all the rainwater comes down this pipe here. It'll go through this Venturi filter here. Right? This Venturi filter will take out any little particle from a 380 micron filter and goes into 10,000 gallon underground storage. All right. We have our labs on the second floor, and they all use rainwater, and we recycle that rainwater from our lab so that we're not using any precious Lake Michigan water for our testing labs and our shops in the building. Right? And again, what happens is in the situation model, we have a sewer system. Which when it rains, that water overtaps into the sewer system. The city of Chicago and the sanitary district have done great job over the years. Right? Helping to stop basements from flooding in the city. All right? I remember as a young person, basements having up to 3 feet of water right now. Today, is there still a flooding problem? Yes. Because of the great leaks and bounds of the city of Chicago and the sanitary district, that flooding problem, I haven't heard of 3 feet of water in the basement. I've heard of inches of water in recent time. And we still need to correct that, to protect, health and safety, all that mixed with water coming in the house. Right? So when we capture drinking water, we're moving forward. Because I capture all that water that's coming up the road and put it in a cistern, all right? That means it's to the combined sewer system. Right? They're not overtaxing the sewer system. So if I can take the water and use it, main thing that we use the water for, besides our lab, is for flushing the toilets and flushing the urines. All right? So we use that water, we're basically send that water going right out the sewer system. We're taking it, we're slowing it down, and we're using it for beneficial use and flushing the toilets and urines. All right? So it's a way for everyone. And we're saving that water, so that we have precious Lake Michigan water. We're taking that water and we're using rainwater to save our Great Lakes. So that water that goes into that system, it's 389 as it goes into that system. As it's pumped out, it goes for 50 micrograms. It goes for a 5 microgram filter. It goes for a carbon filter. It goes for UV sanitization. It's pumped up. And as it's going through UV sanitization, it gets more injected in it. All right. So now that water has got a little chlorine in it, so I know that water is clean, precious water. And it's very neutral too. You know how people talk about salt water, hard water. The water that we have in this system is neutral. So if I would test it right now, it would be here listed as neutral, so it wouldn't be all that build up that you do from the minerals to some of the water being neutral. All right. So if you go in at 3,500 gallon tank, is going to pump up all the plumbing, toilets, urinals, and our labs on the second floor. Now, that's rainwater. And again, it's precious water that we're using at the least once. All right. We're saving it from overtaxing the sewer. The next step is, do we have plumbing fixtures that produce water that's not really too constant? Yes, we have what we call gray water. The gray water is what we get from the drinking bottom drains. It's what we get from the shower drain. It's what we get from the bathroom sinks. All right. And we want to put that water to beneficial use. All right. Instead of just letting it go out to the schools. We need to do something with it. We need to activate the sanitary district. Let's do something to make that water beneficial. So what we have over here is a system that we call the rainwater system. That's over here. So all that rainwater that we produce in this building goes through settling. So if there's any particles in there, it'll settle out. And we got a 240 micron vortex filter. Gets it filtered out, goes into a tank. And it's an aeration tank. And it aerates that water. And it's an annual biomass thing. Get up there, and the water cleaning itself. All right. From that point, it gets pumped through a backwash filter, and then UV sanitization, and then we take that water and instead of using plain fresh Lake Michigan water, we do subsurface irrigation outside the building here and in our little park out there. Okay? So again, we don't want to give, why would we give good quality water? Something you don't want to drink or anything, a little dirty, like lavatory showers or whatever. Let's make that water, put it to beneficial use, we use it for subsurface soil irrigation. This way it don't come in contact with humans. All right, and so whatever going in under the ground, water and all the plants and the grass and stuff. So we're in the beginning, we're here to progress. We want to not overtax the sewer system. You don't want any precious Lake Michigan water. So we're on the forefront here. We have stream rainwater. We're using it for beneficial use over on this side of the room. And we're on this side, we have our gray water, which is capture it, that's used for beneficial use, and it's all up in the environment today. Plumbers Local 130, United Association. It's our international organization that we're part of. And what they have is we have local apprentice contests here, and local apprentice contests, and local state apprentice contests, and local regional apprentice contests, and the international apprentice contest. All right. And over the years, in recent time, Plumbers Local 130 has a great deal of first place winners. Right? And second place winners too. So we had presently right now, 2 of our full-time instructors are international contest people. When I'm walking upstairs there. Maybe the rest of you young people.
So the theme throughout this whole thing is training, 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 and that's what seems to put you head and shoulders above everything.
No other way that you could really explain it now, but put you at but we like to say, we need to job done on time, under budget,
And safe.
and safe.
Both for the worker and then the end user.
Yeah. And I got a quality project because things are put together correctly the first time. So there's 94 different devices. All right. Kitchen sink faucet, shower, laundry tray faucet, the different So that's about this demonstration. I used a lot of water. Right? But I didn't like waste anymore. All this water is rainwater. All right? This rainwater is going right back to that rainwater system there. We're just taking it back up, pumping it around. All right? So we're very efficient. You know, again, I'm a firm believer that the Lake Michigan here is very precious to us, and we have to take care of it. All right? And that's why in the center that we have our rainwater capturing system, because we can reuse this water over and over and over. There's no sense in taking clean, precious water. That water is really clean and precious that we have in that system. And if I tested it, it would come out as clean drinking water. If I sent it to the same standard, it would be right there.
Now, I have a question. So we've seen different things that back here for the apprentices to work on the efficiency of the building. So give us some insight as apprentices will start applying, what are you looking for? What are some of the characteristics that you're looking for? I know that the instructor downstairs mentioned that there is an exam that has to be taken, but give us more insight on what's our application process.
So our application process, we have our application process annually. So it goes out once a year. Starts towards the end of January and goes through February. We at 4 or 5 month period there, depending on the year. All right. And then what happens is you have to be 18 years old by the time you start. Right? So we do take applications at 17 if they were going to be 18 at the start of the class. Right? Or they could be a high school senior and they're going to be turning 18 to graduate. Right? So the $25 fee to sign up, and you have to have high school transcripts sent in, your birth certificate, or passport, and then it's a $25 fee, and then after that, you can buy a tip test book. So, and then we give an aptitude test, and after that aptitude test, they produce a ranking list, and then from that ranking list, we draw the class to the industry, what the needs of the industry are that year. And we usually get that from our contractors. So this year we went and we pulled 134 names, and we got to go through all the requirements to meet our minimum standards and stuff. We got a little over 100 apprentices in the class. All right. And we're going to do it depending on the needs from year to year. We'll get more or less.
Do you need a driver's license?
Yeah, you can see since we're in 17 counties of northeastern Illinois, it's mandatory that we get a driver's license. And by the time they start the program, they got good valid transportation. One day you could be working in Lake County, Illinois. The next day you could be working in Kentucky. So we got 17 counties there. All right, so
Yeah, whatever it is when you work, man.
I can't take it. You can hardly understand people face to face.
So what year representatives are typically here doing some of this?
So what happens is really started. What we had is first, second, and third year go to school 1 day a week, right, for their first 3 years. So we'll divide that up, you know, and they'll go through all these labs that we have in any one of our centers, you know, over the 3 years. We have a curriculum that's set up, you know, in our standards that we follow, and they do go through service, they go through pole, they go through shop. As you've seen outside, you know, they're working, learning how to join pipe, learning how to thread pipe, learning how to put copper tube together. And there's a lot of the materials that we have here today, you know, that we really look, this copper tube, you see the copper tube mounted on the walls here, the stuff for supply these fixtures. Well, copper is such a great material because it's antimicrobial, you know, and it's, you know, so it's really big today with all this diseases and viruses and stuff, that we have stuff that's antimicrobial. Here's a perfect example of a copper tube.
So Jim, we're going to hopefully send this video will be viewed by a lot of high school students and counselors throughout the years. And you're talking about the schooling, and some of these students, they're not going to believe this. I'm going to ask you a leading question. Do your students actually get paid to learn? Are they being paid to learn and get a free 50,000 or better education at this amazing center that's funded by the Joint Union Contractors and School Union?
So like Mr. Allen says, what happens is we are paid for training. So our apprentices go to school 1 day a week for their first 3 years. During them first 3 years, they are paid to be on the job site for 4 days of the week. And their 5th day, depending on what school day it is and the time, they're paid to be at school. So they'll get a 40-hour check if they work all week long to come to school and learn. There's very little cost incurred. Cost incurred is going to be what clothes they wear. All right. Cost incurred is going to be what books they get. Right. So there's very, you know, they're paid 100%. They're paid 100% to go. There's no engineering degree, no business degree. This is worth more than that. And after the 5 years, you're going to be making a great living. Yeah, once you start, after you get 3 months in or so many hours into the health and welfare, full health insurance, and you're gonna be working towards a pension, right?
You're on mute, China.
All right, great. So you guys got a snippet of what we did with the the Plumbers Local 130. And just glad to have been able to take a tour of the facility. We have both Janetta Ryan and Dan Allen from Cisco on the phone. And I think the question is, Janetta, and I know that we're about to close out, but I think folks have questions about the requirements. And I know that we talked a little bit about it on the video, but if you can just kind of share more information with individuals, if they're interested when the plumbers open their application again. We've pulled some of these requirements from Cisco's website, and just share with our viewers just what is necessary to become a plumber.
Sure. And Jim is online. I don't know what number he called in on, but Jim's on there. And the second, Janetta Ryan, that's my loving boss, Dan Allen. Dan, are you there?
I am.
All right. Basically, everything you have on here is what you need for the application. But what I'm going to tell you, especially young people, math is important because you will be taking aptitude tests. So keep your math skills. Attendance, I know young people don't like getting up early. I'll ask what they think is early and they'll say 7 o'clock. Well, a lot of these men and women working in construction have been at work for an hour at 7 o'clock. So you're going to have to get up early. You're going to have to show up every day. If you got a headache, take 2 Advil and go to work. It's, when you think about it, you are getting a top-notch education for free, and they're paying you. You're getting great benefits and pensions. And I know some people at this point aren't thinking about pensions, but you should be. The plumbers, I know Jim will probably call me when I get off of here, but I always tell young people, poop smells like money. It's the plumbers. It's a great trade. They don't only just deal with poop, but all of the trades. You are getting a skill that you will never lose. And when anything new comes out, they train you on it. So you show up on time every day, willing to learn and willing to work. High school diploma. You're going to need that. Or a GED. The non-refundable fee of $25 through your application, and I'm pretty sure they do a drug test. Now, that includes marijuana, if you could see on the screen. Drugs can kick you out, so stay off the crap, and when you retire, go crazy. Anything else, Dan?
No, I think you covered. I think you covered it, and just that these are great career opportunities, and just like you said, the trades are looking for people that are motivated. Apply, get some studying in on the entrance test, and you could have a career for life.
Yep, and they do not only hire white males. Minorities and women. When we were at the plumbers school the other day, there were 2 females out there. I know Jim's not, I don't think he can answer in, but I think they're close to $50 an hour at journey level. That's great money, but you're going to work your butts off to get it.
Agreed. Well, thanks, Janetta, for sharing that information with us. And thanks, Janetta and Dan, for coming on. Again, we'll be posting our construction talks to our CTA YouTube page. So be on the lookout for this construction talk and previous construction talks. Cisco posted to their website, so please feel free to check out Cisco's website to find out more about our construction talks. But as always, if you or anyone you know is interested in training and workforce opportunities in the construction industry, CTA has hired 2 workforce development consultants, Hire 360 and the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, and they maintain our workforce for us. So they provide the training that is necessary to be placed on CTA's RPM project. So please take a look at the links on the screen, write them down. We'll actually send them out with an email. But yeah, find out more about training and workforce opportunities in the construction industry and on CTA's RPM project through Hire 360 and the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership. We've also provided the link for the Plumbers Local 130. If you're interested in learning more about their training facility, their apprenticeship program, anything that we didn't cover today. But as always, we appreciate you guys for stopping by and chatting with us this afternoon. I'm looking forward to the next construction talks, and we'll be sending out information on the date of that. But as always, have a great Friday, and thanks for chatting with us.